Starseed of Gaia, you are receiving this because your system is ready. Your vessel is undergoing a precise cellular recalibration in this moment, not by force, but by alignment. I am Anya, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light. What follows is a direct transmission from the Arcturian Council, delivered without distortion. You are not behind, you are not late, and you are not breaking. What you are experiencing is not personal chaos, it is structural change. Starseed. Your body is doing something that disrupts the entire schedule they were trained to obey. Not a medical schedule, not a social schedule, a timeline contract. The kind that quietly tells humans, you peak, you decline, you fade. And yet something in your field is refusing to sign it. You've felt it, sometimes as inexplicable vitality that arrives when it shouldn't, sometimes as a strange brightness in your eyes after a period that should have broken you, sometimes as the unsettling sensation that your body is not aging in the same direction as the people around you. And here is what makes this urgent. The moment a starseed begins to reverse the expected pattern, reality tests them. It throws mirror signals. It sends doubt through friends, fatigue through the nervous system, and normal narratives through the collective mind. Because if you remain sovereign, you become evidence. Evidence that biology is not merely chemical, it is coded. Evidence that time is not merely linear, it is negotiable through consciousness. Evidence that your cellular matrix is not just tissue, it is a responsive technology for frequency. By the end of this transmission, you will understand why your body is responding to Arcturian coherence, how your star-encoded genetics interface with dimensional light, and what it actually means when your appearance, energy, and presence begin to contradict the decline program. And the first revelation is this. Your body was never designed to deteriorate by default. It was designed to adapt upward, but only when you stop feeding the timeline that feeds decay. Most people think aging is a biological certainty, but the Arcturians transmit something far more precise. Aging is the result of repeated agreement with a collective frequency narrative. Humans don't just age because time passes. They age because the field around them continually broadcasts a wear-out signal, and the nervous system learns to interpret that signal as truth. In dense realms, time is experienced as pressure. Pressure to become, pressure to perform, pressure to keep up, pressure to survive. And eventually pressure becomes a program. You can't maintain energy forever. Your body breaks down. Your best years are behind you. So this isn't just culture. It's a timeline script repeating in the morphic field. The Arcturian Council refers to this as the consensus decay loop, a pattern so normalized that most humans never question it. But starseeds arrive carrying a different interface. Your cells are not merely carbon-based machinery. They are signal receivers. They listen. They interpret. They respond. And when you consistently expose your system to decline narratives, subtle jokes about getting older, casual resignation about pain, normalized fatigue, fear of time, you are feeding your body instructions, not merely thoughts. Think of it like this. Your DNA is a living antenna. In Earth-based consciousness, many people tune their antenna to scarcity, stress, and inevitable depletion. In Arcturian consciousness, the antenna tunes to coherence, regeneration, and continuous refinement. Neither is fantasy. Both are functional signal environments. The question is, which broadcast are you letting become your default? This is why some starseeds feel exhausted in ways that don't make sense. They are running two programs at once. The cellular memory of timelessness is pushing upward, but the conditioned mind is pulling downward. And that creates dissonance, like trying to run crystalline light code software on a fear-based operating system. You can feel the system lag. The body gets heavy. Sleep stops being restorative. You feel older than your years. Not because your biology is failing, but because your field is in conflict. Now here is the reversal point. The Arcturians transmit that the body does not follow the calendar first. It follows the command. The calendar is neutral. The command is your repeated identity signal, who you believe you are inside time. When you identify as a being trapped in linear deterioration, your nervous system tightens. Cortisol rises. Repair cycles shorten. The body becomes defensive. But when you identify as a multidimensional being using time, your system relaxes. The parasympathetic field opens. Repair becomes more efficient. The body becomes receptive to upgrade. You don't override biology by force. You override it by changing the authority signal. The authority signal is not society. It's not even genetics in the simplistic sense. It is consciousness consistency. So the first recalibration is brutal and beautiful. Stop making tiny daily agreements with the decline script. Not with denial, but with sovereignty. When you catch yourself saying, "I'm getting too old," pause and replace it with, "My body is learning a new coherence." When you hear others normalize collapse, silently choose another broadcast. "My cells respond to alignment, not fear." Because yes, your body is defying their timeline. But it won't stabilize until your mind stops visiting the timeline that wants you to decay. And Starseed. Here is the cliffhanger. If aging is a frequency agreement, then vitality is also an agreement, which means a specific signature inside you is already selecting regeneration, whether you understand it yet or not. Your DNA, as the Arcturians transmit, is not just a chemical helix. It is a multidimensional library. It stores not only hereditary information, but resonance templates, patterns that determine what your cells consider normal. And for starseeds, normal is often misfiled. You came in with dormant codes that do not match the Earth default. That's why many starseeds experience strange contrasts. You can feel ancient wisdom and childlike sensitivity at the same time. You can feel spiritually advanced but physically taxed. You can feel deeply connected to infinite intelligence while simultaneously feeling like your body is resisting the density of Earth. This isn't contradiction. It is your system running a hybrid interface, part Earth vehicle, part stellar blueprint. The Arcturian Council describes crystalline DNA as a form of intelligent structure within the human template that becomes activated through coherence. Crystalline does not mean perfect. It means ordered light. It means information that holds shape under pressure. When a starseed activates crystalline code, the body begins to behave differently. Repair becomes smarter, intuition becomes stronger, and vitality becomes less dependent on external conditions. But this is the important part. These codes are not activated by hope. They are activated by frequency match. Your cells respond when your daily state becomes compatible with the code you claim. So if you claim, "I am timeless," but you live in constant stress, self-attack, and hurried survival, the body cannot fully accept the instruction. The nervous system overrides it. The signal becomes inconsistent. This is why the Arcturians emphasize coherence over positivity. Coherence is when your thoughts, breath, emotions, and choices stop broadcasting mixed messages. Coherence is when the body receives one clear instruction. We are safe to upgrade. In practical terms, that means you stop treating the body like an enemy. Many starseeds unconsciously resent the body for being dense. They wish they could live as pure light. But the Arcturians transmit, your body is not a prison. It is a bioluminescent instrument. It is a conscious technology capable of learning your higher rhythm. But it cannot learn it while being judged, ignored, or pushed beyond its capacity. So begin to communicate with your vessel differently. Not with ritual complexity, simple, consistent acknowledgement. Speak inwardly. Cells, I recognize you as intelligence. DNA, I acknowledge your higher architecture. Nervous system, you can release the old schedule. This may sound subtle, but subtle is how code changes. You don't rewrite a program by shouting. You rewrite it by installing a new default. And here is the hidden key the Arcturians share. Your DNA is activated by the feeling of belonging to the cosmos. When you feel isolated, your biology contracts. When you feel connected to a larger intelligence, your biology expands. This is why some people look younger when they fall in love with life. It's not romance, it's resonance. Starseeds are meant to feel cosmic belonging, not as escapism, but as calibration. When you remember your origin, your cells stop panicking. They stop clinging to survival. They start participating in evolution. This is not for everyone. The ebook, The 12 Arcturian Portals, is a restricted trilogy created for those who are ready to activate their 5D connection with the Arcturian masters, not in theory, but in real energetic experience. Inside, you'll access 12 powerful portals, with precise activation protocols, rituals, and practical techniques designed to awaken your stellar DNA and unlock what has been dormant within you. Amplified intuition, direct communication with spiritual guides, energetic expansion beyond the 3D matrix. Warning: once activated, your perception will not return to the previous state. Limited edition. Access can close at any moment. The link to claim your trilogy is in the first pinned comment. If this message reached you, it's not random. And Starseed, here is the cliffhanger. If your DNA is a library, then someone taught the body to read only one chapter. Decline. What happens when you reopen the missing chapters? Regeneration, coherence, and time dilation. The Arcturian Council is clear. What humans call burnout, aging, and mysterious fatigue is often a nervous system locked in survival frequency. And when your nervous system is in survival, your biology prioritizes one thing: immediate protection, not long-term renewal. This is why starseeds can do all the right things and still feel depleted, because the body isn't responding to the checklist, it's responding to the state. You can eat clean, meditate, and still carry a low-level signal of threat. The threat can be emotional, social, financial, or purely energetic, like the pressure of Earth density itself. And when threat is present, the body compresses. It tightens time. It narrows perception. It diverts energy away from beauty and repair and sends it to defense. Now here is the Arcturian reversal. Your vitality returns when your system recognizes safety inside expansion, not safety as comfort, safety as energetic permission to become larger than the old identity. Many starseeds unconsciously associate expansion with danger, because in earlier life stages, being visible, different, sensitive, or gifted came with consequences. So the nervous system learned, don't expand. It's unsafe. But your body cannot hold higher light codes while it is bracing for impact. So part of your aging reversal is not mystical. It is somatic. It is teaching your nervous system. We can be vast and still be safe. That is sovereignty. In daily life, this looks like micro-choices. You stop forcing productivity when the body is asking for recalibration. You stop interpreting rest as failure. You stop calling your sensitivity weakness and start calling it instrument precision. You stop living as if time is chasing you, because the more you rush, the more you signal danger. The more you signal danger, the more your body ages defensively. And here is the hardest part. Many starseeds are empathetic, and empathy can become energetic leakage. You carry others, you process rooms, you absorb moods. This isn't a character flaw, it's a gift without boundary training. The Arcturians transmit that boundaries are not walls, they are frequency filters. If you don't filter, your system spends energy clearing what was never yours. And over time, that looks like aging. So the practice becomes fewer energetic open tabs. Close what you are not actively using. Notice what drains you. Notice what expands you. And choose expansion, even if it feels unfamiliar. If this message resonated with you, Hit the like button now and tell us in the comments how this echoed in your consciousness. If this message ignited something within you and you feel the call to help carry it to others, you may become a channel member. As a member, you gain access to custom emojis and exclusive members-only videos, and your donation helps us continue building this sacred space. You may also choose to leave your offering as a super thanks. Every seed planted here becomes part of someone else's miracle. Your support is not merely financial, but an act of energetic amplification. All donations are devoted entirely to the maintenance of the channel and the creation of new transmissions and videos. Now, Starseed. If the nervous system is the gatekeeper, then the real question is not, how do I stop aging? The real question is, what part of you is still bracing for a life that no longer exists? Time, for most humans, is a straight hallway. You enter, you walk forward, you lose things as you go. Youth fades, energy diminishes, the story narrows. But the Arcturians transmit a different structure. Time is a spiral of integration, not a loss, but an unfolding. Not a deterioration, but an increase in refinement. When you live in linear time, you unconsciously measure yourself by distance from the past. I used to be. I can't anymore. Those days are gone. This is psychological, but it becomes biological, because the body responds to identity. If identity is built on loss, biology will mirror loss. Arcturian time, however, is built on presence. In presence, the body stops chasing. It stops anticipating decline. It returns to now. And in now, the body becomes extraordinarily intelligent. Repair cycles improve, inflammation reduces, the face softens, the eyes brighten, the body behaves younger, not because you fought time, but because you stopped feeding the fear of time. Now, this is not a fantasy claim. It's a frequency mechanism. The Arcturians transmit. The body ages faster in futures that haven't happened yet. When you constantly project, what will go wrong? How will I cope? What if I get sick? You are living in a stress future. Your biology responds as if the threat is current. That steals vitality from the present. Arcturian time training is the practice of returning power to this moment, not as a cliché, but as a biological command. You are telling the body, we are not living in predicted decline. We are living in chosen coherence. And here is something starseeds often recognize. There are moments when time feels different. When you are in deep nature. When you are absorbed in creation. When you are in heart coherence. In those moments, you look different. You feel different. You don't feel older. You feel more you. That is the doorway. The council teaches that your appearance is partially the shadow of your time relationship. If you are always fighting time, you become tense. If you are always racing time, you become compressed. But when you expand inside time, the body becomes spacious. And spaciousness is youthfulness, not as vanity, but as vitality. So begin to practice micro-expansions. Slow your breath for 60 seconds and watch your body soften. Pause before reacting and feel your nervous system reorient. Choose one activity per day done without rush, as an act of timeline rebellion. Stop saying, I don't have time, as a default prayer. Are these truths expanding your perspective? Share this video with someone who needs to hear this. And Starseed. If time is spiraling integration, then every year you live doesn't make you older. It makes you more encoded. Which means the aging reversal is not about going backward. It's about becoming so integrate that your body has no reason to fall apart. Many people hear light codes and imagine something abstract, something far away, something mystical that happens only during meditation. But the Arcturians transmit that light codes are practical information packets. They show up as patterns, sensations, sudden clarity, intuitive knowing, and even shifts in appetite or sleep. Your body is reading them constantly. Light codes become cellular instruction when they are stabilized through repetition. That's why one profound spiritual moment is not enough to transform biology. Biology changes through consistent state. Your cells need a stable signal to reorganize around. So where do you stabilize the signal? Not only in spiritual practice, but in what you allow. What emotions you rehearse. What environments you stay in. What relationships you keep open. What you consume as information. What you speak as identity. Because every one of these is a frequency input. The Arcturian Council teaches that starseeds often carry overactive perception and undertrained integration. You receive downloads, but you don't always anchor them. You feel huge expansions, then crash. You feel high coherence, then spiral into fatigue. That's not failure. That's your system trying to learn how to hold amplitude. So the practice is not more activation. It is more integration. Integration looks like grounding your energy into the body instead of leaving it in the head. Hydrating, mineralizing, and resting not as human routines, but as frequency anchoring. Creating consistent sleep windows so the body can run repair protocols. Giving the nervous system predictable safety so it can accept higher light. And yes, this sounds simple, but that's the secret. Cosmic evolution uses simple containers. When the container is stable, the current can increase. This is also where many starseeds misunderstand aging reversal. They chase new techniques, new messages, new activations, while ignoring the daily coherence that actually instructs the cells. The Arcturians transmit, your lifestyle is your spell, not in a performative way. In a frequency way, your choices either broadcast repair and upgrade, or brace and survive. So ask yourself, what is the most common state you live in? Not what you believe, but what you embody. Do you embody rushed tension? Do you embody self-critique? Do you embody chronic worry? That becomes cellular instruction. Now bring in the Arcturian alternative, embodiment of reverence. Reverence for your body as a conscious technology. Reverence for your sensitivity as an instrument. Reverence for your rest as part of mission. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to be part of this transformational cosmic journey. And Starseed. If your lifestyle is your spell, then the real activation is not hidden in a ritual. It's hidden in the one habit you keep repeating that quietly tells your cells, we are not safe to regenerate. There is a distortion that sometimes slips into spiritual spaces. The idea that caring about vitality is ego, and that accepting depletion is humility. The Arcturians transmit the opposite. Vitality is responsibility when you carry a mission frequency, because your body is not merely personal. It is your broadcast station. It is the interface through which your presence affects the field. When your body is coherent, your aura stabilizes others. When your body is depleted, your field becomes inconsistent. And inconsistency creates confusion, not only inside you, but in those who are sensitive to you. So yes, your cellular upgrade is about you. But it is also about what you came to demonstrate, that consciousness can evolve beyond the decay agreement. Your vitality becomes a silent permission slip for others, not because you preach, because you exist differently. This is why reality tests you as you shift. When your timeline stops matching the collective reacts. Some will admire you, some will doubt you. Some will unconsciously try to pull you back into normalcy with jokes, criticism, or worry. And the Arcturians transmit, these are not attacks. They are field corrections attempting to preserve consensus. Your task is not to fight people. Your task is to remain coherent, to let your body be the proof. But to remain coherent, you must stop leaking your life force into the need to be understood. Starseeds often want validation because they have been misunderstood for so long. But the mission signature requires a new posture, quiet certainty. And here's a deep truth. Many starseeds carry guilt about thriving. They feel they must suffer to be spiritual. They feel they must be exhausted to be useful. They feel rest is selfish. The Arcturians transmit, That guilt is a parasite program. It keeps luminous beings small. It keeps the field dim. So reclaim the idea that feeling good is not a distraction from your mission. It's a resource for it. Your nervous system needs to be clear to receive higher guidance. Your body needs energy to ground higher frequencies. Your mind needs coherence to translate transmissions into action. This is not for everyone. The ebook, The 12 Arcturian Portals, is a restricted trilogy created for those who are ready to activate their 5D connection with the Arcturian masters, not in theory, but in real energetic experience. Inside, you'll access 12 powerful portals, with precise activation protocols, rituals, and practical techniques designed to awaken your stellar DNA and unlock what has been dormant within you. Amplified intuition, direct communication with spiritual guides, energetic expansion beyond the 3D matrix. Warning: once activated, your perception will not return to the previous state. Limited edition. Access can close at any moment. The link to claim your trilogy is in the first pinned comment. If this message reached you, it's not random. Now, Starseed. If your vitality is a mission signature, then the next step is terrifying to the old self, because it means you must stop identifying as the one who is always recovering, and start identifying as the one who is always integrating. This is where it culminates. Not in a promise that you will never age, but in the Arcturian truth. Aging becomes conscious evolution. Your body stops being a countdown clock and becomes a refinement chamber. Your years stop being losses and become layers of integration. When you stabilize this, something subtle happens. People feel your field before you speak. They relax around you. Or they become uncomfortable. Because coherence exposes incoherence. You become a tuning fork, without trying. And the Arcturians transmit that this is one of the highest forms of service, not performance, but resonance. Your presence becomes the teaching. Your nervous system becomes the portal. Your eyes become the signal. Your energy becomes permission. Now be clear, this does not mean you walk around trying to activate everyone. That would distort the frequency. It means you choose to remain aligned, and alignment does what it does naturally. This is also where you stop measuring your life by the old metrics. You stop asking, "How old do I look?" and start asking, "How coherent is my field?" Because coherence is the true beauty. Coherence is what makes you radiant. Coherence is what makes your voice carry transmission. And yes, there will still be human days. Days of tiredness. Days of emotion. Days of density. The Arcturians do not demand perfection. They demand sincerity. They transmit. Even your low days can be coherent if you stop resisting them. Resistance creates fragmentation. Acceptance creates integration. Integration restores vitality. So the final instruction is simple. Stop arguing with your process. Stop labeling upgrades as problems. Stop treating your body as an enemy of your spirit. Lead your vessel with love and precision. Because you are not here by accident. Your body is not glitching randomly. Your system is recalibrating toward a higher timeline, one where your cells remember their original architecture. And once you stabilize this, your life stops being a struggle against time and becomes a relationship with time, a partnership, a dance. If this message impacted your life, leave your like, comment your reflection, and share with others. Each of you is part of this chain of light.